Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. I'm locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, I'm all yours. Locked in, going all out, no fear, no doubt. My God, my choice, your will, your will, your will. Locked in my decision to have a collision with my purpose. It is my assignment to be in alignment with my purpose. Have a collision with purpose, 'cause you know that you're worth it, and your dream is worth capturing. If I'm not living on purpose, then none of it is worth it. My assignment is uplifting souls for the King, souls for the King, souls for the King.
Greetings, friends of the A Collision with Purpose movement. Welcome to A Collision with Purpose podcast, bridging generations, voices of men in a changing world. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson. This groundbreaking podcast delves into the multifaceted experiences of men across different generations in an era where societal norms and expectations rapidly evolve. This show offers young and older men a unique platform to voice their challenges, triumphs, and perspectives.
Each episode aims to foster understanding and bridge the gap between generations, exploring themes ranging from masculinity and mental health to career dynamics and personal relationships. By bringing together voices from varied age groups, the show sheds light on the commonalities and differences in the male experience, encouraging open dialogue and mutual training. I am Dr. Garfield McCook, one of your hosts.
So whether it's a teenager grappling with the pressures of social media or even a senior reflecting on the changing definitions of manhood, Bridging Generations is committed to uncovering the real stories of men navigating the complexities of a changing world. I am another one of your co-hosts, Dr. Juan Marcel. Shoot it over to Doc. What is going on?
Oh man, so much is going on. So much. We have Dr. Art Hines with us tonight, another guest co-host. Hey, Dr. Hines, how are you?
I'm wonderful. And how are you, everybody?
We're good.
Well.
You know, it's another Thursday, right? And what an awesome opportunity to be here, to have this conversation, you know, bridging generation, voices of men in a changing world. And is this a changing world? One, you know, I want to hear a little bit about your commitment, the commitment you made. Can you bring us up to speed on that?
Yes, actually, the commitment I made was two. One, to myself, you know, really pushing myself to say yes to opportunities that I would normally say no to out of fear, right? So doing that, it's a couple of projects that I actually am working on, a book in the works. So stepped out there. I decided to stop sitting on what's in my hand. So I'm working on that. Second commitment was to the community, to youth and young adults. And so a lot of that is in my mentorship initiatives. And so I have been working actually for about a month or so now with a mentee, new mentee, going well. So still doing that and spending time with youth and young adults, just trying to stay connected to what's going on, as they say, in the streets, you know, but keeping my ear close to the ground. So understanding, you know, just the different perspectives with this upcoming generation. So
that's awesome. And I know you're doing, mentoring with Global Humanity Network, or a nonprofit organization. Got a report on that today, and man, you're making a difference in that young man's life. We appreciate you and we thank you for that. Dr. McCook,
Yes.
tell us about your commitment. How's that going?
It's coming. I'm still in my research phase. I've taken on the task of learning and studying about mental health based on what's happening in the United States and the world today, especially with our youngsters. Just trying to get them over that hump of that peer pressure and all the other things that are distracting them in their lives. We gotta set a sound foundation for them, and if we don't grab them at this early stage when the tree is just growing, when it becomes a big tree, then it's too late. The branches, will already be bent, and we can't, get them straight. So mental health is I'm doing some research. I plan to, as I said the last time, be going into the schools. I think schools are where we can start. They're there for learning. So if I can give them something else to think about and help them in their journey, I think that's my journey right now. That's what I'm focused on.
Thank you for sharing that. Starting in that early stage is so important, and so appreciative that you're taking on that project and looking forward to good things coming from you with that. Dr. Hines, what about your piece?
Well, I've taken a total different route that I thought I had 6 months ago. I thought I was in semi-retirement. And what I really was thinking about doing is finding some travel that I wanted to kind of see the world and that kind of thing. And then I came to the conclusion that when there's a lot given, a lot is expected. So I kind of felt like the honorary doctorate put me in a position where I couldn't afford to retire. So it just kept coming to me, well, what you really need to do is work on your aspirations and make it happen. So I've been an instructor for about half of my career. And I always have a high appreciation for the need for information, the need for education. And I kind of thought about it. I said, well, there's a plenty need right now. As a matter of fact, it seemed to be more now than it was when I was in the classroom. So it came to me, I was talking to some young people, and I just asked them what I thought was one very simple question. Well, do you know Dr. Martin Luther King? Yeah, okay, just tell me a little bit about him. Well, he said, I have a dream. And that was about the extent of it. I said, oh no, I think that's a failure right there. And I think part of that blame goes to us. Part of it is part of the information that we failed to relate. So I kind of thought, well, you know what? Let me just spend a little time listening, asking questions so that I can get a very good feel for the problem. And my goal is solutions, not just get the information, but craft solutions for the problems. So that has newly invigorated me to get to work.
I appreciate you talking about education, the importance of it, and information. Our guest tonight is all about education, and I won't give it away. We'll be bringing him on in the second segment. But before we do that, let us bring on our producer, and she will shed some light on the colloquium. Let's bring on Dr. Donna Thompson. Hello, Donna. How you doing? Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, good evening. I'm great. Thank you for having me this evening.
Wow.
How's everyone doing?
Good. How are
Fine.
you?
Good.
One,
Doing this without you is not an easy task, so we always like to bring you on. Even though this show is about bridging generation voices of men, your perspective makes such a big difference. So we always love to have you on here. Plus, who can explain it like you, right? You're the explainer. So I'm going to play a video and I want you to talk through it as we're playing it, okay?
Okay. Alrighty. So, as we know that we are having our second year of a Collision with Purpose colloquium, which will take place on February 22nd at the Shiloh High School. And of course, it's going to be an evening of lots of entertainment, but a great part of the night is really self-discovery, right? Where you will kind of like reconnect with self and be inspired by other individuals and them sharing, their story. It's going to be an evening where we'll honor numerous individuals from the community who have been tirelessly doing, humanitarian work in their community. And we're just going to take an opportunity to, of course, honor those individuals. We're going to have guest speakers from across the pond, like Dr. Stephenson liked to say. But we will have our guest speaker that's coming, will be joining us from the continent of Africa. Of course, will be coming in. We're going to have individuals from Jamaica. We're going to have California. So it's going to be an evening packed with a lot of individuals who's going to pour into us. And, once again, we're, of course, going to have scholarships for our students. We're going to have entertainment. And definitely, it's going to be a night where you're going to pour into yourself as well and just kind of like rediscover yourself. Tickets are currently on sale. It's currently the early bird special for $60. So you want to go ahead, get your tickets now. It is an early bird special. The price will be going up, of course, and you can purchase your tickets at www.acollisionwithpurpose.com. So go ahead and jump on that opportunity and get your tickets. When you purchase your tickets, you will be receiving a copy of this powerful book, Daily Insights Unveiled, Your Odyssey to Find Purpose by Dr. Laxley Stephenson. I like to say to everyone, this is a book that you want to have with you every single where you go. If you like to pre-order your copy today, you can also do so. But if you purchase your tickets for the event, you will receive a signed copy of the book. So definitely come out and, just pour into yourself and support the event. Once again, that is February 22nd at the Shiloh High School. Doors open at 5 p.m. The event begins at 6 p.m. sharp. So you want to be.
Thank you so much. You're a great explainer and so many things here at A Collision with Purpose. We know we couldn't do it without her. And so let's give our producer and CFO and explainer and everything a big applause. Thank you, Donna. We really appreciate you for doing what you do. And the link to purchase your ticket and for the event is posted in the caption, in the comments. And so is, if you just want to purchase the book, it's also there. Now, we have a big show tonight, a full show. We have a guest on, and he's going to share so much with us. But before we bring him on, let's take a quick break. All right? So what should we play? Let's play Bold Kids. How about that? We agree? Let's play Bold Kids?
Do it.
Let's do it. That's what
I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I wake up in the morning and I praise the Lord. I thank Him for His protection and I walk in His steps, declaring that today's provision is set up for me. I love God and I love my friends. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I put on my armor and I read His word, blessing come out of my mouth. Cause I know to whom I belong, I am bold for Christ. Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying His presence wherever He sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. I'm a bold kid. Loving others as he told me to pray for healing, miracles to see, knowing my identity in Christ, he is in me. I am a bold kid, he loves me, standing firm on his word, proclaiming everything I heard, not afraid because he is with me. Be bold. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid. Put on my armor, and I let his word blessing come out of my mouth, because I know to whom I belong. I am bold for Christ, Holy Spirit dwelling within me, carrying his presence wherever he sends me. I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid, I'm a bold kid.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Bridging Generations, Voices of Men in a Changing World. And what a changing world we're living in. How about that song, Bold Kid, that whole line there? What's going on with that?
It just speaks to the truth. It just tells you exactly what life is about and what being bold is, and from a kid's perspective, if you want to say that. And I think it just says a lot. I mean, people out there who are listening to it will jive with it. They'll remember it, based on the background music that is with it.
And Juan, I know you're a bold kid, grown man, but a bold kid.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I love the message. I mean, for all, like you were alluding to. Of all ages, we are all bold kids, and so I just love the message that it gives, especially to the younger generation.
Especially to the younger generation. Well, I feel like I'm in that younger generation class.
We all are.
At least that's where I spend most of my time, because that's where it's happening. That's the future.
Yeah.
So what a great place to spend your time, brother Hines. I know you're a bold kid yourself.
Yes, sir. I am. And I would change the perspective a little bit and say, in the making. I'm a bold kid in the making. And I think that's pretty apropos for a lot of our youth. A lot of our youth are very bold kids, but they're still in the making, and they still have a need for the imprint that we can help to make and pull out the reality of the bold kid on them. So I'll be working on that part of it.
Well, keep on working on it. That's what it's all about. It's never built. Nothing is ever built. It's always being built, and that's what we're all about. It's always about learning, growing, being developed, becoming better and better and better, whatever it is we do. All right, so I think it's time.
Right.
Dr. McCook,
Yes.
Let's bring on our guest, and let's do it in a collision with purpose style.
Yes. Well, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our special guest tonight. He is a distinguished best-selling author, award-winning leader, strategist, and public speaker based here in Atlanta, Georgia. He's the founder and president of the John Ughulu Foundation and Mainseed Christian University, dedicated to empowering individuals and uplifting communities worldwide. As the host of the Morale Booster podcast, he inspires audiences with his profound insights and personal development and leadership. A prolific writer, he has authored influential books such as The Morale Booster, The 7 P's of an Entrepreneur, and his research on entrepreneurship and leadership is published in esteemed journals. With a PhD in entrepreneurship, certifications from Harvard Business School, and mentorship from Les Brown, Dr. Ughulu has been featured in major platforms including Fox, CBS, and NBC. Passionate about helping others discover their purpose, lead fulfilling lives, He envisions inspiring over 1 billion people to unlock their future potential. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome none other than Dr. John Ughulu.
Let's give that drum roll. Let's see that drum roll. Let's see that drum roll. Bring him on. Bring him on. Where he is. There he is. Wow.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Dr. McCook, thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. In fact, when I grow up, I'll save up some money so I can plead with you to see if you can be someone who will be introducing me everywhere I go to. You did a fantastic job, but I know I cannot pay you right now, so I will save up so that one day I can reach you and say, hey, I have the money. Would you please be willing to go with me all over the world so you can introduce me? Thank you.
I'll be there.
You're wonderful.
Dr. Ughulu, you're all over the world right now. You have folks watching from the United Kingdom, from Canada, from Jamaica, and everywhere here in the United States and Atlanta, everywhere. So you're all over the world. So Dr. McCook just introduced you all over the world. How about that?
Oh, well, to God be all the glory. You know, I always tell people that we are just vessels being used by the Almighty God to do some work because we have an expiry date here on earth, right? So I really do appreciate you all. The introduction was awesome. Dr. Laxley, Stephenson, look, it's an honor, a privilege to be on your show today. Dr. Marcel, Dr. Hines, and our lady from the producer. She's not here right now. Appreciate all of you. I thank you once again. It's indeed an honor and a privilege being here. And to the guests that are listening right now, I want you all to know, just like the song said, it says, we are all bold kids. And why is that? Because we were wonderfully and fearfully made by the Almighty God, right? So I want you all to know that this is a special evening, and God is going to use every one of us here to inspire you. God is going to use us here through this program to bless and ignite the reticular activating system of those whose RAS needs to be activated by the special grace of God. You're all blessed. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Ughulu. And you said it. A journey that is truly inspiring, and it's only continuing tonight. Can you share the defining moment that led you to pursue a path of leadership, education, and personal development?
Yes, thank you so much for that beautiful question. You know, everybody has a story, just like myself. I was a very shy person when I was much younger. So shy that I couldn't even imagine myself doing what I do now, speaking publicly, even, facing crowds. Even though I was raised in a family where education was everything. My dad was a mechanical engineer and a leader in the society. Education was everything. We had lots of professors, but I grew up so shy. And I also found myself in the midst of the wrong crowd. Right? Mm. But my mom would always come to me and say, hey, John, when I was pregnant with you, I used to always have this dream. My mom dreams a lot. She would say, I used to always have this dream. And in this dream, I would see a tall, dark-skinned man dressed in suit, holding a microphone and speaking to a crowd. And whenever my mom said that, I would say, Mom, I know your dreams do come to pass. But this particular dream, I don't think that's for me. She would smile and say, don't worry, wait and see. She was always reassuring me of my confidence. Even though I was hanging out with the wrong crowd, people who were not even willing to inspire me. That same crowd had me drop out of college at some point in my life. But I had foundational values that were instilled in me. Foundational values instilled in me by my parents to make me understand that education is paramount. So even when I dropped out of college, I wasn't at ease with myself. I wasn't at peace. But later on, because of those foundational values, I went back to school. I started all over from the scratch, got my bachelor's, my master's, and my PhD. So I typically say I transitioned from a college dropout to a PhD. Why? Because of the foundational values instilled in me. And when I made all those mistakes, when I was able to overcome shyness at some point because of my mom's persuasive nature, I knew that there were people like me in the world who would go astray, but not having the support system that I had. So I knew I had to be strong for people like that. I knew I had to pursue a path that would help people overcome shyness. I knew I had to pursue a path that would help the lost become found. I knew I had to pursue a path that would make college dropouts believe in themselves to go back to school and start all over. I knew I had to pursue a path, and that path was personal development. And that's how the whole journey started. And by the special grace of God, you know, they say momentum is key. Momentum is key. Forward movement, positive movement. From doing personal development, I became mentored by some of the best in the industry. When you set your mind at something, it's easier for you to attract what you want. That's what the law of vibration says. I am a great student of natural laws, because natural laws, you can never go wrong when you follow them. The law of vibration says every object in the universe bounces. And when they bounce, they go at a frequency. So when you place yourself on a frequency, the only things you attract are things on that frequency. So a lot of people are aware of the law of attraction, but not too many people know about the law of vibration, because the law of vibration happens first, because you have to place yourself on that level before you can attract what you need. So basically, the mistakes I made were exactly what pushed me towards personal development, pursuing education, because I lost it at some point, and that's it. So if I could do it, it means any other person can do it, but we need people to guide us. So I chose to be one of those who would pursue education to the highest level so that I can be a role model to someone out there.
And you made it to that 2% club.
By the special grace of God.
Special grace of God. You know, your story resonated with me so much, because I myself was a college dropout. I gave it up, joined the military for 10 years, and then said, I don't need education. I was making money doing real estate. And then guess what? That went away. Art, you remember this, Dr. McCook? And then I said, no, there's another way. And then, just like you, associates, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, boom. So you did it, I did it. It can be done and should be done. So that's just encouragement. We're not saying what we achieve, but we're saying it because we want to let others know that they can also do it. So go out there and make it happen. Now, you are the billion people man. And your vision is to help over 1 billion people find their purpose. And, you know, we want to talk about that tonight because you're on a platform that's all about purpose, a collision with purpose. Mm-hmm. It's our business. Our business is all about purpose. So tell us what that is all about. This billion people find their purpose.
All right. Thank you so much for that question. So now it still goes back to purpose, right? When I found my purpose, when I realized that it was possible for me to transition from shyness to public speaking, from a college dropout to a PhD, from an immigrant to a university founder, I decided that I would do everything humanly possible to help 1 billion or more people find their purpose in life on or before the 31st of December, 2041. Now, why? Because if I could do it, it means billions of other young people, or those who are still alive, can do it. That's the goal. So my vision is to make sure that before my time expires on earth, help 1 billion or more people find their purpose. I just don't want people going through what I went through. You know, yeah. So that's the vision. I see a world where, 1 billion plus people through me would identify their greatness, would know where they're from, would know why they're on earth, would know what they can do, and would also know where they're going to. That's just a very simple. My vision is so simple. It's not complicated. And by the grace of God, God has blessed me with a platform that can be used to make this happen. So it's just a simple one. I just don't want people going through what I went through. I just don't want people walking around and not believing in themselves. I just don't want people walking around thinking that they are not good enough or inundating themselves with limiting beliefs. I just only see a world where lots of kids would step out as bold as a lion. Imagine a shy kid. I used to be shy, but right now, I don't, I am microphone hungry. I want to speak everywhere I go to. My kids will see me when I go to anywhere, grocery stores, public places. I always want to speak to people. Why? Because I want to make sure that the person who is walking past me knows who he or she is and what he or she can accomplish in life. My kids complain. They say, "Dad, you want to talk to everybody?" I say, "Yes, that's my purpose." I speak publicly. I speak through virtual platforms. That's the only way I can achieve it. So that's my vision, helping people identify their greatness. 1 billion or more people.
1 billion by
2041.
By 2041. So it's out there.
Yes.
It's on a Collision with Purpose platform, so there's no better place for it to be announced. On the platform about purpose. Dr. Juan, I know you have some questions for Dr. Ughulu.
Well, yeah, kind of just a follow up to what you just said. You spoke a lot about helping people to find their purpose, of course, but so they don't make the same mistakes that you made. So what advice would you give to someone searching for clarity in their life's direction?
Well, that's a great question. First, my suggestion is everyone who's listening right now, I don't know where you all are listening from, but I want you to, first of all, figure out what the meaning of the word purpose is. I am a communicator. I used to say I am a teacher, but I realized that there are two different people. A teacher is good at making easy things become complicated, but a communicator is good at making complicated things become easy. So I no longer call myself a teacher. I call myself a communicator. So let's start by encouraging people to go to the dictionary, like right now. Find what the meaning of the word purpose is. And when you figure that out, the next suggestion will be find what the meaning of the word future is. So when you know what that word purpose means, in my own opinion, purpose means whatever we are made for. This pen right here has a purpose. This pen was made to write. A seed has a purpose because from a seed, you can get a tree, right? From a tree, you can get a fruit. From a fruit, you get a seed again. And from that seed again, you get a tree again. And a fruit that, that's the purpose of a seed, a plant. We've come to realize, studies have shown that humans are the only species that do not live to the fullest of their purpose. Other species, they live to the fullest. But humans are the only species. Why? Because God gave us something different, and that difference is the willpower. Because we have willpower, sometimes we don't get to even leave our purpose. So for that man or that woman who's still trying to figure out what his or her purpose is, first of all, understand that your purpose is what you are made for. And my question back to you all now is, what were you made for? So what helped me identify my purpose was, there were 5 questions that the late Dr. Miles Monroe of blessed memory, he asked. And those were the questions that helped me discover my purpose. And I want to share those questions with our listeners right now. Because the moment you are able to figure out the answers to those 5 questions, your life will change. You will find your purpose, right? The first question is, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the questions might seem easy. They might sound easy, but trust me, it could take some people days to figure the answers. It could take some people weeks. It could also take some people months. It could take some people years to figure out the answers. And some people during their lifetime might not even figure it out. So the first question is, it was from Dr. Miles Monroe. These are not my original questions, but these are questions that helped me find my purpose. The first one is, who am I? Who are you? You need to first of all know who you are. Who are you? I don't know about you, but I know who I am, right? I know I am a morale booster. That's who I am. My name is John, but that's not who I am. I am a doctor, but that's not who I am. I am a morale booster, helping people identify their greatness. So you need to know, who are you? You understand? So that's the first question. Who am I? You need to know who you are. The second question is, where are you from? I was born in Nigeria, but that's not where I'm from. I am from God. I have a creator. What's your source? You need to figure it out. Then the third question is, why am I on earth? Why are you on earth? Why are you on earth? You need to know why. My why is why I am here today. The wise man once said, if your why is big enough, you will find your how, right? My why is, I want to see a world where billions of people know who they are, know their purpose. So you need to know, that's the question. Then the other question is, what can you do? And that's where your skills come in. What can you do? What are you good at? What can you do effortlessly, even if you don't get paid to do it? What are you good at? What are your hands good at? I can speak from now till eternity for as long as my voice is good, So you need to know that. What can you do? Then the last question is, where are you going? Trust me, if you are able to figure out the answers to these questions, your life will change, just the way my life changed. And I assure you, those are the only questions. So when somebody asks me, how can I find my purpose? I just give them the questions. It is proven. Even the Bible says, faith not tested should not be trusted. This is proven. It has worked for me. It worked for my mentors. It worked for a lot of great people that I know. But we need to make up our minds that we will figure out the answers to these questions. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or think you cannot, you are right. So if you think you can find your purpose, which I know you can, because if I could do it, look, if I could do it, John, it means everybody can do it. So those are the questions. Who am I? Where am I from? why am I on earth? What can I do? And where am I going?
And that is it in a nutshell. Thanks for that answer and those questions.
That's it. You're very welcome.
Appreciate that. Juan, I know you will have to go. So you have a previous appointment that you need to meet, but one more question, please, before you go.
Absolutely.
No problem, sir.
Well, of course, coming from this great leader in entrepreneurship and leadership and development, this one is more focused on, like I said, leadership and entrepreneurship. So, as a thought leader in entrepreneurship, what do you believe is the most critical trait for a successful entrepreneur in today's world?
All right. The first thing I will say is you should understand that entrepreneurship is different from business. So people mix them, get them mixed up. Entrepreneurship is a mindset. It is a mindset. So we need to understand that it's paramount for us to, first of all, develop the mindset before going into business. The mindset is what would anchor the business. The business is just, as an entrepreneur, you start a business, you grow the business, because in business you would have down times, but it is the spirit of entrepreneurship that keeps you going, right? Just like your purpose. It is the spirit, it is a mindset. So the first thing is develop the entrepreneurial mindset. Understand that it is a mindset. So educate yourself about it very well. Do research. Not everybody can be an entrepreneur. Everybody can, but not everybody will be an entrepreneur. Because we have the willpower to do whatever we want to do. But understand it is a mindset. So when you have that mindset, then you can go and grab resources like this. I have this book here. It's titled The 7 P's of an Entrepreneur. I wrote this for aspiring and brand new entrepreneurs. It's available on Amazon, or you can get it from my website, johnughulu.com. It's titled The 7 P's of an Entrepreneur. Everything you need as an aspiring entrepreneur or a brand new entrepreneur, you would find it. It's not so much, just a few pages. Develop the mindset. Understand that it's a mindset. Yes.
Appreciate that. Entrepreneur, Art, something about that. And Dr. McCook, as a true entrepreneur yourself, it's all about the mindset, right? The business is the thing that the entrepreneur builds, right? So, all right. So, Juan, we thank you for the question. I know you got to go, but just jump off whenever you're ready, okay?
No problem. Thank you all.
Have a good one, John.
Have a good evening, Docs.
All right, Juan. Yeah.
All right.
In fact, Dr. Lexi, we have Paulette Ricketts, we have all the way from the UK, we have Marjorie Banton, we have Teresa Brown from Liza from Jamaica. So we have quite a few folks watching us from all over the place, and we appreciate you watching. Please share. They say sharing is caring, and we truly believe in that. So spread the love. Spread the wisdom that you're hearing tonight from our guest, Dr. John Ughulu. Now, again, you're watching Bridging Generation Voices of Men, and I think this is a great time for us to take a quick break, and we'll come back with some questions, all right? So let's do some iron.
Of hearts that strive through fire and flame, they find their way, becoming iron where courage holds sway. Becoming iron, with hearts forged in fire, tales of courage and the fiercest fight, becoming iron, shining in the night. The brave man faces the darkest night. The empowered man fights with all his might. The resilient man stands unwavering and strong. The inspired man knows where he belongs. Together they rise, conquering fears, becoming iron through trials and fears. Becoming iron with hearts forged in fire. Tales of courage and conviction, rising even higher. Displaying strength in the fiercest fight, becoming iron, shining in the night. Becoming iron, shining in the night. The brave man faces the darkest night. The empowered man fights with all his might. The resilient man stands unwavering and strong. The inspired man knows where he belongs. Becoming iron knows where he belongs. Becoming iron, shining in the night. Becoming iron with hearts forged in fire. Tales of courage and conviction, rising even higher. Displaying strength in the fiercest fight. Men becoming iron, shining in the night. The brave man faces the darkest night. The empowered man fights with all his might. The resilient man stands unwavering and strong, shining in the night. And the tales unfold and the battle's new. Convictions light sees them through. From abysses deep to the morning light. They becoming iron in the endless fight. Becoming iron with hearts forged in fire. Tales of courage and conviction, rising even higher. Displaying strength in the fiercest fight. Men becoming iron, shining in the night. And the tales of old and the battles new. Convictions like sees them through. From abysses deep to the morning light. They become iron in the endless fight. They become iron in the endless fight. Tales of old and the battles new. Convictions like sees them through.
In the tales of old, conviction light sees them through. Men becoming iron, right? So welcome back to Bridging Generation, Voices of Men in a Changing World. Our guest tonight is Dr. John Ughulu, president of Mainseed Christian University and president of the John Ughulu Foundation. All right, so gentlemen, becoming iron. We identified 4 men, different types of men. Dr. McCook, which one are you?
I think I'm an iron. I mean, you know, it took a while to get there. You know,
are you resilient?
Resilient. I'm resilient in that, you know, if there's a task, I always say that in life, when we think we have obstacles, they're not really obstacles. It's God challenging us. He's giving us a test. And all we have to do is be resilient and pass the test.
Right. Dr. McCook is a resilient man. Dr. Hines, are you, which of these categories did you fit into best?
Give me a little hint of the rest of them. Let me make sure.
Brave, empowered, inspiring, resilient.
I'm going to say resilient.
And
resilient because with resilient, it takes a certain amount of stick-to-itiveness. So you can't give up. You can't give out. You can't just throw up your hands and quit. No, you gotta keep at it. So I relate to that one.
So we have 2 resilient men here. Dr. Ughulu?
Yeah, well, so what are the 4 options? Resilient,
the resilient, the brave man, the empowered man, and the inspiring man.
Okay, so I am writing it down. Resilient, brave, empowered, and inspiring. I will say I am the Genesis 1:27 man. Because God made us in his image and likeness, and all these four are contained part
Right.
of the creature that God made, so
We're all those, but the one that you identify with the most.
uh,
You gotta make it. You gotta pick one.
so I would say I am all of them, but if I get to pick one, that will not be a sincere answer.
Okay.
Yes, that will not be a sincere answer, because I am brave, extremely brave, like extremely brave. I am empowered by my source, the Almighty God, inspiring, and that's who I am. I am a moral booster. So if I were to pick one, that would not be an honest answer for me. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
yeah. Well, the thing is, we're all of those make us into who we are, right? If you identify with them. But the real true question is the one that you identify with the most. And all things are not equal, as we know. And for me, I would say the brave man faces the darkest night and just keep moving.
Okay, I'll say I am resilient too. Or I'll say I am empowered. Let me say I am empowered by God. So with the empowerment from God, every other thing comes with it. So yeah, I am empowered by God.
Awesome. And I know, for us to be doing what we do, where all of those things, somewhere we fit into them.
Yes.
And they fit into us, and we're all those things. But there are certain things that stand out more in us, and certain traits, certain behaviors. Anyway, so that was the purpose of that question. Well, now let's get back to the main thing. And so, Dr. McCook, questions for Dr. Ughulu?
Well, let me back up a little to what he mentioned something earlier about at one time he saw himself as a teacher, but now he sees himself as a communicator. And I like that analogy in that he says teachers take simple things and make it difficult, while a communicator takes difficult things and make it simple. I remember in high school, I had some science teachers, and Mark, they know their material, but they just could not communicate it to us so we could understand. So I like that analogy you gave. Now, Doc, I know you're an entrepreneur, you're a leader. Regarding the leadership role, how does, and I think leadership evolves over time. How do you think leadership principles differ between generations? You see all what's going on here now. You can go back in history. How do you think leadership principles differ between generations, and how can they be harmonized?
Well, that's a great question. Leadership, in my own definition, is just, it's all about inspiring people. It's as simple as that, empowering others, right? So in my book, I wrote about, in this book titled Leadership Principles Unleashed, I wrote about the 4 pillars that every leader that we have studied over time, these are principles that they all have. The first one is taking charge. The second one is leading a team. The third principle is empowering yourself and empowering others. And the fourth one is, relying on a network. So I don't think leadership has changed or, will change for as long as we have leaders. A leader is always focused on those 4 things: taking charge, empowering him or herself, and empowering others, right? Leading their team and relying on a network. So a leader is always building a network, always building people who would learn from him or her. The only thing I know has changed is people who just call themselves leaders without having to go through the process, because leadership is a lifelong learning process. You keep learning. Technology is now involved, which should make it easier for us to cultivate more leaders. But I think the principles still remain the same. Let's use yourself as an example. You did not become a leader overnight. You went through a process. Over time, you're becoming a better leader, right? So the principles don't change, in my own opinion. So we just have to focus on doing what we are doing right now, using our platforms to continuously let people know about the principles that leadership entails. Leadership is all about empowering people. For myself, what I have learned, I put them in this book. And these are principles. Principles are principles, right? Principles are principles. This is Leadership Principles Unleashed. In the next 100 years, these are still going to be principles that a leader needs. It's like the law of gravity. It doesn't change, right? If you go on top of a 10-story building and you jump down from there, the law of gravity would come in. It will pull you down. So I don't think any research has been done to show that the dynamics has changed. But we just need to focus on letting people know it is a lifelong journey. Leadership is influence, and that we've been sent into this world to do 4 things that would lead to leadership. The first one is to discover our gift. The second one is to become a leader. And when you lead for a long time, you become very influential. And those principles don't change. But I'll be glad to learn, because I love to learn, But in my opinion, leadership principles are leadership principles. So we must focus on impacting those same principles as we go on to other people. And that's what your platform is doing now, which is great. Malcolm X once said, there was a wise man who said, if your plan is for 1 year, plant rice. If your plan is for 10 years, plant trees. But if your plan is for 100 years, educate children, which means education does not necessarily mean the formal education. It means teaching them what you know. Because if you fail to teach people what leadership is all about, then we have all failed. So I don't see any changes in leadership, just that some people who are not leaders claim to be leaders without having to go through the leadership training. So I don't know if that answers your questions.
Yes.
Let me jump in there quick, Gary. And what we're talking about here is not so much the principles, but it's how you adapt. The different generations adapt to the principles. And I think that's what you're saying, Dr. Ughulu, how we adapt to the principles and carry them forward in our lives and practice them. Dr. McCook, another question?
Well, along the same vein, Dr. Ughulu he's into a lot of research, and I hope one day I can be like you when I grow up. But in all this research, and you may have answered it already, so maybe you just put some more emphasis on it. Is there a key finding in your research that you can share that can inspire leaders to create that an impactful legacy that they can leave?
Yes, I would say I would recommend one of my mentors, John Maxwell. I believe you all know him.
Yes.
Just read his books. His books are a good resource. I would recommend that to those who are listening to us. I read a lot of John Maxwell materials. The Bible.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible. That's where everything's, every book we write now is, what we put out there. They're all taken from the Bible. Everything is already in the Bible. The Bible has so many leaders. That's one of the best research materials for leadership, right? Because even Jesus, typical example. If anybody wants to lead well, it should study the Bible. After the Bible, you think about John Maxwell. He's a great leadership mentor. So those are the material. The Bible is my go-to. If you read most of my articles, I always include Bible stories because you can never go wrong having that as your source document, as your source for research. Yes, because it's proven.
Indeed. And John Maxwell, I also endorse John Maxwell. I'm a certified John Maxwell guy myself. Been a student there for quite a while.
Yes.
Thanks for your questions, Dr. McCook and Dr. Hines. What you got going, sir?
Yes. I've been enjoying the lecture. it's more of the information. I'll put it that way.
He's not a teacher anymore. He's a communicator. Let's not bring it to the classroom
Yes.
so much. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And as a teacher, I heard you talk about wanting to retire, Dr. Hines. Talked about wanting to retire. We only retire from a job. We only retire from an employment, right? We can never retire from a calling. Never.
Well,
just the same way the bird. Yeah, go ahead.
This honor is teaching me that every day now.
Oh yes. Yeah, just like the bird. The bird flies till it dies, right? That's the purpose of the bird. To fly. The fish swims till it dies. So if we are doing anything that we're looking forward to retirement, it means we have not found our purpose. Right. Because our purpose knows no retirement. That's why it's very important. We must know what we are good at. That thing that we can do day and night, even when we are not getting paid to do. You see that word? Even when you're not getting paid to do it, you need to love it because that's your purpose. So no retirement for you, sir. So don't.
I think he understands as well. He's back in action. Dr. Art, back to your question, sir.
Okay. Well, I know I've enjoyed reading your book on leadership. I think it's a wonderful piece of work. So, and I do know that leadership evolves over time. So my question to you is, how do you think leadership principles differ between generations? Leadership between an old guy like me and the young guy who's just coming up. And how can they be harmonized?
Through communication. The younger generation, as they come up, they still need mentors. And who will those mentors be? Us. The 1 billion people I intend to impact, I intend to transfer my leadership principles to them. I just want to make it simple. They need mentors. So when you build your own domain of young people or the younger generation to understand the leadership principles, the principles don't change. The styles might change. The principles itself don't change. It's all about leadership is influence. It's influence. So what we need to do is to constantly transfer what we have learned as regards leadership to the next generation. If we cannot do that, then we have failed. We don't want a world where leadership does not align with the original leadership principles. Let's always remember that leadership is different from management. Principles are principles. Natural laws are natural laws. They don't change. You only choose the ones that you want to work with because you have the willpower. I don't know if this resonates with you. Now, we know we are transitioning from pen and paper to click computer, right? That's a transition, but that has nothing to do with leadership. The styles, the techniques, the equipments, the gadgets, the tools for leadership might change, but the principles of leadership are there. It's all about motivating people. A leader does not have to be a technical person. Not technical. A leader does not need to be too good at a job, right? A leader must be good at inspiring people who are good at something. I don't know if that resonates with you. The leader is not the most intelligent person. It's not the best at the job. But the leader is that person who sees farther than others and who sees before others see. That's leadership. So when we say it evolves, we need to be specific. What evolves? It's all about motivating people. That will not evolve. That will not change for a leader. As a leader, if your job is not to motivate the engineer who's so good at his job, then that's not leadership. Your job is, hey, you have an engineer on your team. He's so good or she's so good. And you don't even know anything about that job. Your job as a leader is to motivate that man or that woman so that they can believe in themselves, so that they can understand that, hey, I have someone on my side who would inspire me. Even when I make mistakes, he can say, hey, it doesn't matter. Failure is a sign of work in progress. Keep going. I believe in you. That's a leader. So there's a difference between a leader and a manager. So that's why I say those leadership principles will not change for as long as you and I decide that what we have learned from our leaders, we're going to transfer it to the next generation. That's our role on earth. Like I said, the tools and resources might change. But the basic thing about leadership, which is influence, which is inspiring others, will not change. Having emotional intelligence. When you have emotional intelligence, you know that you're not supposed to do something that will hurt the next person. That's a principle that you want to abide by. You know, it wouldn't change. So if I make a mistake and you cannot say, hey, you know what, keep going, I know you're good, you're better. If we cannot impact that to the next generation, then the next generation would not be leaders. We would not call them leaders. So I don't know if my philosophy aligns with what you were expecting, but that's what I see as leadership. Leadership
it's well said.
It's about transferring knowledge, is what I'm hearing.
That's it. That's it. Transfer it. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Dr. Hines, another question, please.
Yes. Dr. John, you are a true leader. You're the president of Mainseed Christian University. Now, what I really would like to know, what unique approaches does the university take to empower students academically as well as spiritually?
Yes, that's a great question. First of all, we focus on utilizing emotional intelligence for the people that work with us, because when you empower the people around you, the students will be happy. So we have a structure whereby I try to always let the people who work for the university do their jobs. I don't interfere. So by empowering them, we know the students will be fine. So we have policies in place for everything. There's a policy for everything. And we make it clear to everybody. So having policies that everybody can see makes the job easy, right? So having policies, having the best team, because without a great team, nothing will happen. Nothing. Like you will put in all the work by yourself and nothing will become easy. So my strategy is, number one, emotional intelligence, understanding that everybody's a human being. And we also have great people who have been helping us work on scholarships. Scholarship is a great one for us. So our goal is we're bringing in people who cannot afford the conventional university tuitions and allowing them the opportunity of getting a degree without breaking the bank, without owing any student loans. So that's part of it. And also by ensuring that the people who teach at this school are people who love the job. That's it. So we hire people who are passionate. Our goal is to become, a top-notch leadership university. We don't want to struggle to become the best in engineering or the best in medicine, or, we just want to be known for leadership. It's part of the process of creating more leaders. In fact, our watchword is fostering faith and cultivating leaders, to transfer the leadership norms to those who are interested in becoming leaders. It's part of the 1 billion process, 1 billion vision process, right? So our empowerment process is emotional intelligence for both the staff and the students, hiring the best people who are willing to take the job as a calling, not just as a job, right? Because our employment is what we get paid to do, but our calling is what we were born to do. So those people who, if tomorrow we say, hey, we cannot afford to pay your salaries like right now, but I know it won't get to that, would you be willing to continue empowering the students? It's not all about the salary. It's about, we have people who want to pour into students, who want to help create the next generation of leaders. So that's our strategy. And there's a policy that guides everybody, including myself, that we have in place. Our goal is to ensure that we provide affordable and quality education in the areas of leadership.
Dr. Hines, thank you for the question. Dr. Ughulu, thank you for that answer. And the thing is that I want to leave with everyone where that question is concerned is, if we cannot afford to pay you tomorrow for the work you're doing, are you willing to stay on and do that work? That is the question. That is the question indeed. Now, Dr. Ughulu, this time you can only choose one. You don't have 4 options or 2 options or 3 options, just one. I want to establish that up front. All right. And I would like for you to get into that camera as close as you can. And I know you did not achieve what you achieved by yourself. You're not where you are because of you, You've done some work, but it's not all because of you. I want you to look into the camera and identify a person on earth and say thank you to them and call their name for what they've done to support you. One, you can only do one.
All right, that's an easy one. Apart from my Heavenly Father, I would say my mom, Queen Ughulu, is an awesome person. Just one, because my dad is no more. He passed when I was still a teenager. So my mom single-handedly, raised me from the point where my dad died. So that was the woman who would always tell me that, John, I believe in you. Before you came into this world, I already saw you speaking to people. Even when I was shy, even when I didn't believe in myself, she raised me and my siblings. And by the grace of God, I am where I am right now because of that woman. Apart from God, God is the author and finisher of life. It's not always easy for me.
No, it's not, but we're going to hold your feet to the fire on that one. All right.
Yes,
And so
yes, my mom. Yeah.
We should all give a big shout out to Queen Ughulu for what she did. And look who we have here and the work he's doing. All because of what? Her commitment, her dedication, and what she instilled in this gentleman right here. So big up, big up, big up, big up, Queen Ughulu. Let's give her one of these, guys. Come on, let's give it up for her. All right. All right.
Thank you.
We can't stay here forever. We don't have that luxury to stay on here forever, and there's so much more to talk about. But something I really want you to talk about is dig a little bit deeper into the scholarships that you're offering, your institution is offering at Mainseed University. That's a big, big, big deal.
Yes, it is. And that would not have been possible without great leaders like yourselves. Even God will surely make a way. That's what we're told, even where there seems to be no way. As a new institution, we are struggling in some areas where typically the government would come in and support the conventional universities. And as a new religious-based institution, we do not have the right funding at the moment that we need from the government. But we have been blessed with a community, with a group of people who have keyed into the vision, who understand that their collaboration with the university empowers others. So I want to say thank you all. You are all part of our community, and you've been responsible. Look, every student we have right now, as a new institution, they are on scholarship, courtesy people like yourselves. So we have private individuals like yourselves who, through their support, have made it possible for us to provide education, scholarships for people, for our bachelor's degree program, master's degree, and PhD programs. And the scholarships are available. We've been reaching out to people, letting them know that these scholarships are available. And I want to talk to anyone who's listening to us right now. If you know anybody who's just getting out of jail, prison, and that person is thinking of starting life all over, look, we will be home. We will be their educational home to help them transition from where they are to where they want to be, because we have the scholarships available, courtesy private, great, good, God-fearing men and women like the hosts of this program, who have done tremendously well to support what we do. So scholarships are available for the bachelor's, master's, and the PhD programs. So if you know anybody who wants to become a great leader, Leadership is a journey. Mainseed Christian University is an institution where you will not just only, grow in faith, but become a great leader. So we have scholarships available. When I say scholarships, I am talking about full tuition, like tuition free. So the only cost to the students will be like the application fees, which should be about $75 to $105. It depends on the degree program, and they will, of course, buy their own books. That's it. But the tuition is free.
Tuition is free, and this is offered not just here in Atlanta, in America. This is offered worldwide. Am I correct in saying that?
That's correct. Yes,
So,
everybody is welcome. For as long as your goal is to develop in faith and to become a leader, that's all. The goal is to cultivate leaders, and that's the goal. Yes, you're welcome.
right. So you heard it here. The Collision with Purpose, Bridging Generation, Voices of Men. Our guest tonight is Dr. John Ughulu, president of Mainseed Christian University. And we want to talk a little bit about your foundation. But that's another big piece of what you do in your billion man movement.
Yes, absolutely. That's correct. So the John Ughulu Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And we focus on coaching and mentoring, growth mindset coaching and mentoring. It's all about helping people find their purpose in life. It's part of our vision, part of our strategy. Greg Reed once said, a goal written down, a dream written down with timelines becomes a goal. A goal broken down into little steps becomes a plan. And a plan backed with action makes your dream come true. So the vision is empower 1 billion people, right? We wrote it down. It became a goal. So when you write your dream down, which we did, it became a goal. But having that big goal of saying, hey, I want to empower 1 billion people, you need to break it down into little steps. So John Ughulu Foundation was one of the steps for reaching out through coaching and mentoring. The university is another platform for reaching out, coaching and mentoring. The podcast, another platform, reaching out. So that's how we intend to help people identify their greatness. So John Ughulu Foundation is focused on coaching and mentoring for growth mindset in particular. That's what we do.
Yes, that's what's up right there. That's what's up. We joined on our conversation tonight. Dr. McCook, you got to ask one final question. Dr. Hines, one final question, then we'll go to closing arguments. So let's try and get it done in a timely way. Dr. McCook, please.
Yeah, Dr. Ughulu, it's been a pleasure. It's been a warm afternoon listening to you speak. I've listened to folks in the past, and some people are boring, and you have a lot of energy, and you hold your audience. Communication, I know, is very important to you. Now, from a public speaking standpoint, and I know public speaking can be a daunting challenge for many. What are some of the practical steps from your book, From Shyness to Public Speaking, that can help individuals overcome this fear?
Yes. I do have that book here, From Shyness to Public Speaking. It's available on Amazon for those who want to overcome shyness and become public speakers. So the first thing is believing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Believing in yourself. A wise person once said, if you get rid of the enemy within, then the enemy from outside can do us no harm. If you get rid of the enemy within, then the enemy from outside can do us no harm. What does that mean? For me to explain the meaning of that, I need to first of all give an example of what some of those enemies are. The first one is not believing in ourselves. That's one great enemy. The second one is procrastination. And there are a lot of them like that, right? So shyness is a limiting belief. And what's a limiting belief? A limiting belief is a belief that prevents us from achieving our goals. That's it. Saying, hey, I don't like public speaking. That's already a limiting belief. Why? Because studies have shown that leaders are speakers. Studies have shown that leaders are readers. So, and our assignment on earth is to do what? To discover our gift, to serve our gift to the world, to lead, and to leave an impact. So if you are not going to speak because of shyness, it means that, to me, that's a sin already. You're already committing a sin. So first of all, remember, when you remember that it's a sin to be shy, which means you would not be able to communicate what God has asked you to come into this world to do to the next generation. You're robbing them of what you should teach them. So the first thing is believe in yourself. Know that as a leader, you must speak. Leaders are speakers. Leaders are readers. That's the first thing I wrote in here. Believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, everything changes. My communication mentor, Mr. Les Brown, would say, John, if you do what is easy, your life will be hard. And if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. I know somebody might be wondering, what's he saying? If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. Why? That's the truth. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. What are the easy things in life? Self-doubt. It's the easiest thing. Procrastination. Oh my God. That's too easy. So if we do those things, our lives will be hard. But if we do the hard things, like taking charge, accepting that we can and we will, it's hard. If we do those hard things, our lives will be easy. So for that person who's listening to us right now, who's shy, who's thinking of overcoming shyness, I want you to imagine this, that John used to be a very shy person, not just shy, extremely shy. I don't know the medical word to use to describe my shyness, but I want you to know that it was at the peak, the highest level, where when I go to public places, I like to stay close to the exit door so that if I notice that somebody's going to mistakenly ask me to come to the stage or come say something, I'll just, I'll have to run out of that hall. It was that bad. It was so bad that I wasn't comfortable with people I wasn't close to. So, but today I am microphone hungry. I don't even need to prepare myself. I stay prepared. If I could transition from shyness to public speaking, then it means every other person can do it. And you have to do it because as a leader, you must speak. Leaders are speakers, leaders are readers. So go get a copy of this book. The 10 steps I took are in here, but I just shared one with everybody. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and your God-given gift, from shyness to public speaking.
And that's a big one. And you asked the question, what is the term for shyness? That in Jamaica we say you're afraid.
Yes, we use that in Nigeria too. You say you're afraid.
You're afraid. You're afraid. That's all right, gentlemen. Let's keep it moving. Time is on us here. So who's next? Next question. One more. One quick question. Next one, please. Time is on us.
Okay, my quick question is, now and education is often seen as a tool for empowerment. So my question is, what role does lifelong learning play in achieving personal and professional goals?
Lifelong learning is what we were sent into this world to do. That's it. That's why we have an expiry date. God said, go into the world and what? Multiply. Some people think the multiplication is all about reproducing children. No, go and multiply, because God gave us too many things, too many, from living things to non-living things. So we need to constantly learn. We need to constantly upgrade our learning process. Education is not just the formal education, the four walls of a university or a formal institution. No, it is a lifelong process, because what I would learn from you is different from what I would learn from Dr. McCook, is different from what I would learn from Dr. Stephenson. And what you already know is different from what you would learn from me. We even learn from children. So that's just the word. So they say that when a man stops learning, he starts doing what? He starts dying. The day we stop learning, then we start dying. That's how it is. So we would learn till the last day. Even on our deathbed, we would learn what it feels like to struggle for air, and the air is not coming by, right? We would learn last lessons to say, hey, I'm trying to breathe, and the air is not coming, but my nostrils are open. So it's going to be, we will learn till the day we die.
Amen. You're learning or you're dying. That's it.
That's it.
So, gentlemen, final thoughts. Dr. Ughulu, is there anything that you'd like to add in form of a closing argument? This is the opportunity to do so.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. First, I want to say thank you to you and your team for having me here. And I don't know who's listening to us right now, but I know somebody is listening, and I'm speaking to you. You, yes, you who's listening to us. Before I go, I want you to, first of all, know that your belief system matters. And right now, I don't even know where you're listening to us from. I don't know what you know about yourself. Neither do I know what the people around you know about you. But here is one thing that I, John, know about you. Yes, you who's listening to us. I know you have greatness within you. I know you have all it takes to become the best version of yourself. I know you have all it takes to transition from where you are to where you want to be. How do I know that? Because if I could transition from a college dropout to a PhD holder, from a shy person to a public speaker, and from an immigrant to a university founder, it means you too can. It means you have the ability to even do more than what I have done, because you have greatness in you. So I want you to believe in yourself. That's all I want to share before I call it a day with everybody. You have greatness. And thank you all for having me here. And you're doing a great job. Please, no retirement. The work just got started. No retirement. No, we're going to do this, even if we don't get paid to do it. I hope we agree on that.
We fully agree. Dr. McCook, your closing words, please.
Yeah, you know, thanks for giving me closing right after Dr. Ughulu, because I just want to just emphasize, you know, when you talk about believing, you know, one of my statements since I got my doctorate, you know, I had to come up with something to say Dr. McCook said, and it goes like this: if you are a believer and truly believe in your beliefs, believe and thy will be done. So that just echoes what he's saying. And just to add on, disappointments are only a test from God. Just pass the test.
Mm. Things are happening here tonight. Dr. Art Hines. Thank you, Dr. McCook. Dr. Hines, final thoughts?
Well, my final thought has to do with just do it. Just do it. You know, we talk about leaders or readers. So just read. Leaders lead. So just lead. You may not have all the answers up front, but you start leading, you learn some. And the same about speaking. Speakers speak. So I just appreciate this opportunity to share with great men. And I just like the concept of the network. So just lead and build a network to help you to continue to lead. And I like the golden nugget of wisdom that I got from Dr. John, who said, your network is your net worth. I like it. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you, Dr. Hines. All right, so wow, what an evening. What an awesome opportunity we had here tonight. You know, I must express my gratitude to you, Dr. John, for joining us tonight on Bridging Generation Voices of Men. Been wanting you to come on for a while, but nothing happens for the right time, right? So perfect timing. You know, your insights, wisdom, and passion really inspired us, and you've given us tools to foster change and build bridges. For this is Bridging Generations, right? Thank you for gracing this platform and enriching the dialogue. Truly appreciate that. To my brothers and co-hosts and sister, Dr. Donna, thank you for standing with me here tonight, guiding the discussion with eloquence, humor. So we did have some humor, right? And commitment to making this show a beacon of hope and understanding. You know, the journey that we've been sharing, the perspectives and so forth, is everything. It's about changing lives, empowering, inspiring, and just be that individual, that person that we're born to be, or that we're here on earth to be, right? Here on earth to be. You know, to our audience, ones who are watching tonight and the ones who will watch the replay, your presence, engagement, you know, is the heartbeat of what we do here. It wouldn't make sense for us to do it without you. So we, you know, your comments that you've made, reflections, remind us of why we're doing this thing that we call Bridging Generation, we call a Collision with Purpose movement. And it's to create a space where voices, speeches, conversations, communications make a difference, to spark actions, and and to just break down barriers, right? So as we close tonight, I wanted to leave you with a thought about purpose. Purpose is the compass that guides us, even when the road is unclear. Purpose is the fire that fuels us, even when the winds of life blow hard, right? So I want you to understand that no matter where you are on your journey, your purpose journey, know this: your purpose is unique, it is powerful, and it's necessary. You're of significance, you're of value, you're important. All right. So while it may take some time to uncover your purpose for some people, and Dr. Ughulu, you talked about that tonight. You talk about that. Every step you take toward it is a step towards finding and discovering your purpose and ultimately changing the world. As much as you are saying you want to do 1 billion people by 2041. And I have no doubt that you will do that. No doubt that you'll do that. So together as men of different generations, and we have different generations here tonight, we're called to lift each other up by sharing our stories and ignite purpose in the hearts of those around us. So let us keep building, keep bridging, and keep believing. That is it. That's all I have to say. Thank you. And blessings always. Dr. Ughulu, we ask that you just stay back with us for a moment, please, while we sign off.
in the web of what they said, lost in the